welcome again to Not In Shawscope, the show where we spin off from our regular In Shawscope, where we're looking at all the Shaw films. We look at films that are related in some way to those movies. We've been watching an enormous amount of Golden Lotus for this, and this is our last episode of Golden Lotus, I believe.
Finally, yeah, for now.
Yeah, right.
Till I dig up some. Actually, there are a few we weren't able to get a hold. There's one Korean version I'm quite keen to see that looks interesting, but yeah, pretty hard to find. So,
yeah. How many pairs of tits do you think we've seen in the entirety of the Golden Lotus section?
Or how many individual tits if we were to multiply that number by
well,
two?
you could go individual, yes.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a fair number. I don't know.
I think we're over 100 probably.
Is there a group noun for tits? You know, like a gaggle of geese. Is there a?
I was thinking that
a jiggle of tits, perhaps.
A jiggle, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
A wobble of tits, yeah. Yeah, definitely. We've seen.
I got a crockery cupboard of tits.
Yes,
because it's full of caps in it.
Very nice.
Yeah, that stand-up routine's getting along well, Darren.
I'm here all week.
We're
he's on New Faces next week with Lenny
Henry returning.
That's it.
Whoever the fuck else used to host that thing.
Yeah. I'm going back in time to when Lenny Henry used to be racist.
So yeah, we're talking a 5-part made-for-television series. Each episode is feature length.
I don't think it's made for television. Sorry to interject.
Okay, interesting, because it keeps showing up when I search it as claimed as made for TV. IMDb has that.
Yeah, I think that's wrong. I think it's probably more along the lines of the Mafia vs. Ninja made for video, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a video series. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it would make sense in terms of the subject matter. You'd think that it would be hard to what channel, particularly, who would show it. So but in any case, 5-part, each one is feature length adaptation of Golden Lotus. Is it this? I didn't even pay attention. Who directed this? Was it the same director for all 5 parts, or was it not?
Yes.
Yeah. So Yu Ming Tam, isn't it?
Tam Yu Ming, yeah.
Oh God, I took it off fucking IMDb and I got the names backwards.
Lung Lapian, and and then the only interesting other credit, because there's a bit of action in it now and again.
Yeah.
It was choreographed by Hwang Chung-yi, who we will have seen in our other show as the fake beardy in Hello Dracula, right? And he also, I was kind of interested, he went on to direct a Yes Madam, but not that Yes Madam, a Yes Madam from 1995.
Yeah.
Which I think
I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that, because I haven't seen any of those late Cynthia Khan ones from that era, so I'm kind of interested to see. Carry on, Nick.
Well, I don't know what else there's to say, except that we once again get a lengthy visit from our old friend, Mr.
Huddle Up Man. Yes, there we go.
Kenneth Williams. Kenneth Williams.
Yeah. Whichever.
After about getting to about the 4th and 5th episode as well, for some reason I started to think of him as Dave Vanian from The Damned.
Oh yeah, with the black lipstick. Once he gets into the emo phase in episode 2, very much he's gonna do what was it, that Video Nasty song at any moment. But yeah, anyway, I'll say from the outset, I did feel like, and I don't know because I can't speak with any authority having not read the novel, but I felt like I got a bit more of the big picture from this than I've ever got. I always kind of, as we watched the other versions, I felt like I was seeing excerpts in a way, and this is the first time I was like, oh, that's how this may be. But then I don't know if some of this is made up by the screenwriters, or if it is a fairly faithful, but it made more sense to me than any version I've seen up until now as a total front to back story.
we're thus far slowly still going through the book. It seems that does seem to be the case, and it better be, if you think about it, because it's 5 hour and a half segment. Plus, I should mention as well, if anyone's planning to watch this, I would recommend taking your like watch one, and then maybe watch the next one the next week, and then maybe because it is kind of it is worth a look. I think we'll get into whether you both think so, but not all crammed into like
No, I don't think you should
1 or
binge
2 days.
No,
Yeah, I think you're better off spreading it out.
It is quite nice actually, because I think generally it was because I was trying to summarize each film in kind of a sentence, you know, as I was kind of watching them for, you know, in prep for this. And it's quite easy to do that with the different films, because each film seems to focus either on a different character, some new characters we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And or you know, just on the theme. So it's quite nice to do that, because you can just dip back into it. You know, you can have a little break and dip back into it, and then all of a sudden there's some new stuff happening that you maybe haven't seen in previous iterations that we've reviewed anyway.
Yeah, because you're not going to really lose. It's basically, oh, there's Tanlap, there's Seaman Simon, you know, being horrible again, and that's kind of that's all you need really. And then every now and then, oh yeah, Woo-song is there, isn't he? And poor Golden Lord, and and Golden. So in this version, so we've got Tanlap Man as Seaman Simon says
for the maybe the 5th time, right? 4th or 5th time playing this role.
Yes.
I think
there might even be some TV ones as well he did. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know,
what were the contract negotiations like? What was it? Things like, are 50% of my scenes me sucking women's tits aggressively? Yes? Okay, yes.
I mean, yeah.
He does all of his own stunts. Does our bass playing maestro, right? It's fascinating to think of him as being what, like Blue Jeans or whatever the hell the band's. He had a couple of glam looking metal band things of the 80s. Kind of want to go down that route almost and see what that.
After this many films now, I think we're all idolizing. We all to be Tanlap Man's Seaman Simon, right? He's someone to aspire to be, I think.
Sorry, were you saying he was in the band and he was releasing that sort of music? Did I just understand that correctly?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
He was primarily known as a musician.
Yeah, he was a pop idol. Yeah.
Okay, so seeing as there's a bit of false advertising going on here. Just let the viewers into, you know, pull the curtain back and see the wizard at the machinery. We were advised that all these 5 films were about an hour long.
Yeah,
they weren't. They were about an hour and a half long, weren't they?
I forget who that person was, but what?
No, yeah. So as your punishment, Clivo.
Oh yes.
As your punishment, we're gonna have to stitch a video, stitch your best Tanlap Man music video or a clip therefrom at the beginning or at the end of this.
Oh, I can't be bothered to do that.
No.
Yeah,
that's your punishment.
I think that's definitely an appropriate.
That's your punishment.
I don't know.
You're gonna have to.
If I can find one.
Oh, I'll. If you can't, I'll find you one, Clive. Don't worry.
I don't know. I don't like this bullying.
Yeah, because he won't learn otherwise.
This is true.
Won't learn. Yeah.
I don't want to learn. I like surprising you. Anyway,
this used to be fucking double bills.
I remember that. Yeah. And I wasn't also doing like 9 other shows at the time. Yeah.
Oh, be quiet, you two, with your
Yeah. Right. So what happens in this then?
Well, so this first one.
Hang on, I was going to say that you got our golden lotus. Yes. We got a Japanese golden lotus, right?
Yeah.
Asami Kobayashi, aka Asami Kano, aka Asami Tokita, but in this she's known as Young Si Man. But she's actually from like Chiba or something, but she relocated
Okay.
to Taiwan. And also our quite yummy Plum Blossom is also
Mm.
Japanese.
Oh, is she? Okay. I wonder.
Yeah,
I felt like I knew her. And
credited
I know just as I feel like I know this actress from
right.
somewhere.
I thought of that, but I didn't. Credited as Choi Mei Yao. Her real name is Miu Omori, which is actually quite a tricky thing to look her up because a member of idol group sensation AKB48 has exactly the same name.
Yes.
So you just come up with images of her
Mm-hmm.
rather than this one. Yeah, so yeah, you got a couple of jobs, and then Bethany Wade, we got Ku Kwan Chung as our Wu Song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him.
And some other people. The other quite memorable credit is Henry Liu, isn't it? Right, Henry Liu, who was in some old school kung fu films back in the day. He's got a part in it as well, and Yang Shung, Cindy Yip, and and it's a fairly consistent cast across all
Mm-hmm.
5 segments.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
no
I was a bit
cat
surprised
was
that
murdered in this version.
yes.
That was the one thing missing, right? There was no cat murder.
No, but it was replaced with something equally awesome when we
Yeah,
get to it.
the other what's the word, defenseless entity murder is quite hardcore. So yeah, fair
Yeah, and
play.
that's pretty much
Yeah.
what kind of replaces the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah, and
remember
then I was
what that is.
surprised that Pal Sin just kind of doesn't make it that far into the 5th film, right? I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, that was interesting. The exploding geyser cock of blood happens quite early into and you're like, oh, what's going to happen now? Is it all just going to be credits for the rest of the?
Right.
But it's quite interesting. Yeah, they carry on. You basically
I enjoyed it. I
I
like
like that idea.
Yeah.
It's almost like his toxic legacy continues.
Yes.
But
yeah, I think the first episode is plays it fairly close to what we've kind of seen before, right? We're introduced to Lotus. She's living with Wu Da, who's again kind of a sad sack, kind of ugly guy, right? She falls in love with his brother Wu Song. Although right at the beginning, Wu Song stumbles in and then throws up everywhere, and then she immediately makes a pass at him, like with like he still vomit on his face. I was like, ugh.
what do we think of our Golden Lotus, by the way?
Oh, lovely, great, yeah.
She did have a certain quality, like there was a site like I wasn't convinced that there's a villain, like the more put upon she becomes, the more horrible things happen to her. I started to get into her, like she's got that kind of appeal. Yeah.
Well, yeah, she is the eternal victim, right? Like in more than any other version we've seen here, she is consistently the victim. She's almost never the active, like we've seen versions where she's very much active in cheating on her husband, very much active in poisoning her husband. And then but in this one, it's almost every opportunity they have to make her, or previous versions have made her kind of villainous. This version pulls back. She doesn't cheat, with the houseboy, like that's all.
Although she's not shy. She's not shy.
No, she has some freeways and stuff, and for sure, but still.
Yeah. Well, she does cheat on Wu Da with Wu Song, to be fair.
Yes.
But it's a really sympathetic portrayal, isn't it?
It is. And nice rack too.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything we want from our Golden Lotus.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, I'll tell you how we know, right? One of the things, or how I know anyway, that we've made it, right? In terms of our knowledge of all the tropes and all the mythology around these characters, is I was really, really missing the window pole scene from the first film.
Right.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the pole to fall out the window.
Right.
And it hit Simon. Didn't happen. Gutted. I was gutted.
But yeah, to be fair, for those before we started recording, Darren was in tears. It took us a while to calm him
It
down.
did take to calm him down,
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Just move on. Just move on.
Yeah, we don't want to dwell. Yeah.
Start me off. You start me off again.
Yeah, no. To your point as well, Nick, it was interesting. By the time we got to the end of the first episode, I was like, "Fuck, we're almost done, right? This is the
yeah.
what's but yeah, no, we do. Yeah, so the first episode is like classically what we get in most versions, and then the second one is more a little bit more intricate palace intrigue.
There's a few things though.
Things.
There are a few things that were new for me in this one. First of all, again, you know, Madame Wang and that kind of the scene where she orchestrates the affair is again, you know, in this version, Lotus is entirely the victim, right? She's not.
Yeah.
Which we've seen once or twice before. So it's totally down to it's totally Seaman who does the poisoning. She doesn't even know. She's horrified when her husband dies. And in fact, she throws herself on the mercy of Wu Song. She's like, kill me. I like
how Simon Seaman as well in this version is just from the get-go. He's like, I'm awesome. I fuck other people's wives. I even kill people, and I get away with it.
Yes.
Plus, all these women are really into it as well, right? They're like,
yeah.
He's so strong, and he's such an asshole and a bastard. But God, I can't get enough of him. And also, I don't think it's in any of the other versions thus far. I don't think we ever. It would make sense, but I think this is the first time it was pointed out that he's got a massive cock. Right. There's that scene in the toilet where he pisses all over that other bloke. And
yes,
yeah,
we do know, however, that his father Norman Chu did teach him how to do press ups with it, right?
Yeah, we knew it was strong and
right,
more than functional, but this is the first time I get the feeling that he was well endowed at birth.
Super endowed.
Yeah, but I think it's implicit that it would leave a good dent in the sand.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think that's implicit throughout the whole canon.
But it was just nice to there's that scene where he's next to someone in the toilet and he just looks over and goes small.
Well, that's the other thing. We're going to get it. I'm sure we're going to get into that in a minute. But the other thing that's new here is Simon meeting his match.
Yes,
and having and
the bully who bullies bullies, basically.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
and he has to be all contrite and everything. Yeah. And he pisses on him confusingly through his shoe.
We should. I feel like we should hold off and talk about that when we get to
it.
That is episode 3.
I'm just trying not to drag it out, but
okay. But just a few more things from episode 1 that I'd like to kind of. So Wu Song ends up murdering the wrong guy. So that was new, right? Where Zeman says to him like, "Oh, that's the guy you're looking for," and he goes up and kills some other fucking random innocent guy, and that's why he ends up getting shipped off to jail, right? And then it's also got a filthy scene where he takes off his shoes and makes Lotus like suck his sweaty toes.
That was good.
Which was
some filthy shrimping.
Yeah.
Also, what I liked about it was before that as well. She has to crawl.
Yes.
Yeah.
He also gropes her tits with his feet, like.
Yeah.
This is when I was starting to get
to warm up to her. Yeah.
I was like, this is my kind of gal.
And then
wives interested.
And then there's a scene where like one of the wives like so it's the usual stuff. She ends up having to, after her husband dies, she ends up becoming one of Zeman Ching's concubines. And then one of the other wives says to her, he beats you because he loves you. And she's like, oh yeah,
they're totally Simon is a genius, I tell you. He's
fucking hell.
He's got it going on. He would be a brilliant pimp.
Well, I would say what this version brings out more than anything else is he's a master of gaslighting, like an absolute, and not just the women, but also everyone around him. He's just constantly. He's like Donald Trump, basically, in some ways. Like he tells people directly to their faces I'm not fucking your wife right now as you're standing in the room watching me reach climax inside of her. This isn't happening. He fucking says that to somebody.
You do know you've just alienated our right-wing fan base.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, maybe
Well
I
done.
would imagine that group of people would
yeah,
also think that
I'm
Zeman
not.
Ching was a great guy.
Fuck off, right-wing fan base. Off you fuck. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Go on.
Although I do,
Fuck off.
I think Simon Seaman is a much classier dude than Donald
Well,
Trump.
yeah, I can't
And,
imagine Trump with the black lipstick.
Gaslighting, I mean, it's just not the time for it now, but it is a skill set. You know?
I suppose you could say there are marketable skills.
Master of negging for sure.
Oh yeah.
But
I one day I'm gonna study under the great Seaman Simon.
you know, you burn hot, you burn bright, but you don't burn too long, it seems. That would be the one. You know, we talked about it before, but you know, live by the pork sword.
Yeah. I mean, I would consider learning cock fu from Simon.
Well, that's true. That's true.
If I was going to learn anything from Simon, I would learn the cock fu.
I'd imagine if nothing else, his prostate was in great condition when he died. I mean, the rest of him might have been a wreck, but I'd imagine he had a pink.
Just shining in the ashes. Yeah, it would refuse to burn.
Because it's so dense.
Yeah. But we'll get to that actually one day when we get to our finally get around to doing our all hardcore Savus special. We'll be doing Kung Fu Cockfighter, of course, which has someone wielding a phallus in the way of the martial world.
Well, you've seen that, haven't you, Clive?
Yes, a long time ago.
Yeah. I'm completely new to hardcore fu, so
I haven't ever seen any either. Yeah.
No. Well, my understanding is there's not a lot of it.
I wouldn't think so, yeah.
I can think of about 3, and then I was thinking we could even throw in, just to be a bit different, there is that American hardcore film from the 70s, right? Vixens of Kung Fu.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, do you reckon we could get what's his face from what's that fucking podcast called? Rialto Report on.
Oh, you never know.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
As long as he doesn't get our prick all full of shit.
Fucking hell, Clive.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm sure we've got some Harry Reams or Tim Long fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we can do a crossover. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It was all on 42nd Street, right?
Yeah.
Yep. You're right.
So, you know.
I will say I was slightly disappointed that first wife Moon is not quite as cute as Baldy girl from one of the other ones we watched.
Yeah.
Right. Forbidden Legend.
But anyway, shall we move on to part 2 and deal with that?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
This is the one where
I'm impressed you're managing to separate them out, because I'm just kind of
my notes are, and this is the first time I've ever done this.
Fucking color
highlighted my notes.
Jesus. And well written. That's like proper hand. Like this is what mine looks like. It's all like straps. All this kind of
right.
You know, look at those red strings when they're hunting for serial killers. On that's yeah. But that's what mine looks like.
That or else it's like the journals kept by serial killers, like in 7 or whatever.
Yeah. I bet you any money Nick's got a pencil case.
I do have a pencil
and a protractor.
Yeah.
I do, yes.
I haven't got a pencil case.
No. When this show's done, Nick, just to warn you, we're beating you up and stealing your dinner, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was known as Nicholas the Softie when I was at school, so you know, I do expect that kind of treatment.
Well, that was the girls, though, wasn't it?
That was, yes, yeah. Very small and very flat. That's me.
Who did we? Why were we talking Walter the Softie the other day, Nick?
Because you and I were talking about Oink Comics and the general and Kenneth Williams and
Williams, yes,
Charles Hawtrey.
Yes,
and I'm convinced Charles Hawtrey was the model for Walter the Softie and a number of those other kind of simpering gay coded.
I think might be a good call. I think Charles Hawtrey may be in the Walter Softie DNA. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
but we're straying far away from Golden Lotus, New Golden Lotus Part 2 here. So this is the one where we get introduced to near the beginning we meet two of Seaman Ching's good buddies, and they have a whole part where they pledge to each other in a scene that basically mocks the three brothers.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Yeah.
From what is that? What the hell was it? Romance of the Three Kingdoms, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Where they pledge allegiance to each other, but then he's like, and we should also swap wives. And then Pinger's husband, right, Vase, or she's called this version, he's like, oh, I don't think my wife's going to be into that. And immediately Seaman Ching's, well, I'm not taking no for an answer here.
Let me
excuse me. Hang on. It's
Hmm.
pronounced vase.
Vase. Okay, vase, vase. All right.
I'm very sorry. I'm very particular about the pronunciation of that word.
All right.
I prefer, in keeping the theme of Tanlap Man Simon, I prefer receptacle.
Yes.
Flower hole.
Cocksocket.
But she is much more amenable than Lotus ever was, right? She immediately grabs his dong the first time she meets him, right? And kind of lets him know.
A rather chaste young maiden she is.
Yeah. And then I also like the fact that it's shown in the first movie, but it shows up in almost every movie that Zeman Ching has these hot tub parties, right?
Yeah.
In the first one, a guy just shows up selling buns like to the orgy. I was like,
yeah, you get hungry at an orgy.
Of course.
That's fucking genius. Right? How many other bun sellers do you reckon walked past that brothel thinking, I'm not going in there? Right? That man's fucking cleaned up.
Yeah. All his buns just got crumbs left.
Exactly. Everyone else is throwing them out. Right?
Yeah, no,
as tramps going through the bins, right, in the town centre, right, going through the bins, having all his buns he's slaved all morning to make, right? Just because he wouldn't go in the brothel. Yeah?
I think you're right.
This man, he's got his feet up.
Is it a place where people would have low blood sugar?
He might even get an invite as well to the next party.
Oh, yeah.
Networking, that is.
Yeah. Crumbs for crumbs, isn't it?
Yeah. And so anyway,
see, now we're getting right wing again. Now, you know, yeah, we need no regulation.
Yes.
And opened up the markets.
Yep.
Pull your socks up, get on your bike, sell your pork buns at the orgy.
So yeah, so anyway, he ends up banging Pinger. Her husband walks in.
Not Pingu, by the way. That's a different film.
Pingu. Oh yeah, Pingu. Yes, that's she's the little
Yeah, Pinger, innit?
Pinger.
Yeah.
So she knocks her husband out, and when
she's
he wakes
from the
up,
West Country, I think.
That's it, yeah. Cornwall.
Easy up, that there Pinger, she's all right.
Yeah, that's it.
That Simon Seaman through her length, I know.
Yes. Anyway, yeah, she says you saw nothing, and he thinks maybe he didn't. And then there's a part where Zeman gives his whole. Is it him or is it somebody else who gives the whole theory about there's two kinds of women? The women that you want to sexually assault and the women that you want to be sexually assaulted by, and that it's very binary, right?
It all involves sexual assault.
Assault, basically, yes. Well, that, probably it was Zeman.
The universal language of sexual assault.
Right.
Yes. And then speaking of that, he does go back from one of these trysts and then sexually assault Plum, right?
Yeah.
The cute young maid. She kind of swears bloody vengeance. And then the rest of these 4 movies, she kind of sets about in some way or another kind of getting her revenge.
Plum's my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
She's awesome.
My plums liked Plum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but Plum's really fucking good at this because unlike any of the other iterations we've seen, Plum is this Machiavellian fucking master of manipulation.
This is the one where she frames second wife or whatever, and then second wife ends up burning to death. Right? Like she somehow
She
sets
herself on fire.
Fire, yeah. Which is incredible.
Yeah.
And then this is the one where they introduce this guy Ching Chi, who I don't know if he's in any of the other versions, but he works in the place. He's the one who hides. Lotus has been writing letters to Wu Song. If this discovered, Zeman Ching's going to be outraged because he does not want to wear the green hat, right? Which is, I guess, that is the horns, the cuckold horns in China, ancient China, I'm guessing. But he refuses to wear the green hat. So anyway, so this guy has hidden the letter.
Green horn
and then
is
decides,
a sign of gonorrhea, isn't it?
well, I mean, I'm sure by the end,
He had a multicolored
dong.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ching Chi, he gets very rapey very quick. Immediately tries to use this favor he's done for Lotus to blackmail her into sex. He really likes sucking boobs. Yeah.
So the third one
is that kind of what happens? That one? I feel like that's most of what happens.
I don't
Yeah, that's
think
kind of
really matters that we identify.
I think
right.
But I think the next bit, so then if we're going sequentially, which we're not really, but
yeah,
as we're there.
Oh, well, I do think so. Zeman does he does end up beating the shit out of, or he has the shit beaten out of Pinger's husband, right? And
That's right. Yeah.
He's kind of dying by the end of this.
The only reason I think it doesn't really matter is because I don't feel as if we're going to be recommending particular
individual episodes,
right?
Yeah.
Right? It's just you watch the whole thing or not.
Although I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it episode 4 or episode 3 that I might be like, if you only watch one, watch the Pispukake one?
Yeah. Well, I
because
think
that one's
no, because that's a total missed opportunity, right? Because they piss all over him.
Yeah.
Unless you're into him, I guess it could work as a gay thing.
Yeah. But I think after we get past the Golden Lotus tropes of the first film and the kind of wife swapping Pinger stuff in the second episode, this is when it gets really interesting.
The third, if you've already watched 20 other versions, then it starts to get into new territory.
So now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with the doctors, right?
Yes,
and you get the doctor business, which is completely different to any other doctor business we've seen, because the only other doctors we've really seen in any other iteration we've watched, Shaw or non-Shaw, have been kind of doctors who are complicit with the murder of Wu Da, right? That's generally the only doctor you see.
Well, but wasn't Dean Sheck, wasn't he the sad, impotent doctor that married Pinger?
He might have been. Yeah.
And I think that we have seen these doctors who are more like, they were all. But this is the first one we've seen it where he doesn't seem to be impotent. He seems to be a
Yeah. And this is where they turn the screw on you, right? And this is where you can get fired up, a la a kung fu film.
Plus, as well, you get the introduction of the blind musician character who had his face burned off in this one.
Well, he's the doctor.
That's the doctor.
Oh, right. Yeah. So that speeds into the later. Yeah. That gets very dark in later. Later. I don't know if we want to give spoilers, but
yeah. Well, let's say spoilers and then let's discuss it, because it's if we're going to watch 5 films, then I don't think you can discuss them without discussing the doctor business. Yeah, which is all new.
He marries. So Pinger's husband dies, and basically Zeman Ching starts to ignore her, right? And she gets upset, and then the doctor kind of swoops in, and he marries her, and then Zeman Ching gets bent out of shape about it, and then hires some thugs to basically throw fireworks at him, and he ends up under like a dragon costume or something like that, right? With a bunch of exploding fireworks.
It's a lion dance, isn't it?
Lion dance, yes.
It's like a lion dance assassination. And they get him like tied up in loads of like firecrackers, don't they? And then they set them off, and then he gets horribly burned and blinded. But
this was an era before, those television spots,
safety videos. I know.
Yes, so they didn't know.
Yeah.
Don't throw fireworks at someone's face. Or Donald Pleasance going, I am the firework. And I, or something like that.
But
They didn't
but
know.
what's interesting, what I like about this, which is another facet, or actually just a deepening of Simon's sort of depravity, is Simon actually doesn't give a fuck that his wife's run off with a doctor and he's fucking someone else. Simon gets bent out of shape because because Pinger and the doctor have set up a rival pharmacy because he's in the pharmacy business. So that's actually why he gets assassinated.
They're taking away his fun money.
Right.
Exactly right. Yes. So, and that's a great scene. That's a really good scene.
Yes.
Because and
so he ends up. So yeah, as Clive, you said, he ends up as a blind fiddler basically, or and then he shows up at the place and he kind of tells Pinger, because Pinger then does marry, she becomes yet another wife, right, to Zeman Ching, and he says, you betrayed your husband. He was murdered by this guy. You've married him, and then he tells Plum Blossom, you better run away because God will cleanse this place in blood. He goes there right away. He's an angry man.
He has his own moment, right? You can see it coming as well.
Well, he's like that woman in Pompeii, isn't he? The one, the one that comes, she keeps saying like, "Oh, the Ides of March, prophecy," and then Frankie Howard says, "Calm down." But in this one, it comes.
I think it is, calm down. Just to get the exact quote.
Yeah. No, fair play. But yeah, I mean,
you get value for money on this show, don't you? You get Darren tying together New JIN PEN MEI Part 3 and Up Pompeii. That's a level of film scholarship. But you don't get elsewhere.
No.
If you put in the work, you can do it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just got to do the work, right? But no, but I think we just want to talk, combine like 3 and 4, right? Because I fucking love this shit, right? Because this is like this just gets old school. It's like watching something from 1971 Shaw Brothers when they're going extra fucking juicy on the vengeance. Right?
Oh, hang on, what's this now? Breaking news.
Yeah.
Christopher Freiling's got a new book coming out, all about the connections between Golden Lotus and Up Pompeii.
Oh, there you go.
In
the air. We've gone academic.
I'll see him in court.
Yes.
Stick to
your spaghetti westerns, Chris.
Exactly. So yeah, but this whole fucking doctor arc. So the doctor's got it's his sister, isn't it?
Yes.
It's his younger sister.
Yes.
So the doctor gets fucked up, starts prophesying, I'm gonna fucking drown this place in blood.
He's almost fucking I will kill everyone man I see level, isn't he? Like,
yes, he is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All you need.
And then I mean, maybe we lost it because we need to come back to it. But there are reasons why Zeman Ching becomes quite sick.
Yeah, I don't think we have to gloss over it. No, I think we should let Darren run with it. Yeah.
Okay. Spoilers, right?
Okay.
Spoilers from here on in. But this is fucking great. So first of all, and I'm summarizing 2 films here, right? But this is the juicy bit, right? That everyone's gonna like. But it is spoilers. So so he turns up, he starts kind of, prophesying doom. Then he kind of flips and goes and kidnaps Pinger. It is Pinger, isn't it?
Yeah, Pinger's
kidnaps Pinger's child because Pinger in the meantime is giving birth, right?
Sure, we should reiterate this is Simon Seaman's kid as well.
Yes. And the kid who is basically his fuck you God kid, because basically people have been telling him, oh, your immoral life, you'll be cursed and your family you'll never have, and he's like, no.
This is Seaman Jr.
Proof that God does not exist.
He's been doing cock-ups on the beach with him in
the This is it. Yeah, this is a future Norman Choi Soo-Kim moment that he's anticipated. So anyway, so the doctor grabs the kid, gets on the roof in the rain, says some bullshit, issues
Well,
some
he
threats.
makes Demon Ching confess to all of his crimes in public.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
no bit of difference in the end. It's great.
No.
No one
No,
gives a
and
shit. They
then-
knew anyway.
Yeah, and then he just slings the baby off the roof and kills it.
Yep.
Right. And then, right, then in I think it's the next film, right? His little sister decides she's gonna be avenged as well. So she sets a honey trap
Mm-hmm.
with some decayed flesh poison that she's gonna kill Z-Men with.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes all Matahari with some necrotic tissue,
Yep.
right? Fucks him, scratches his back.
She's very sexy too.
She's good.
That's a honey
Yeah.
trap that I would have
Fallen
probably fallen
into.
into pretty goddamn quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So then she like scratches his back, slaps this poison, which is essentially rotten
Black
flesh,
death.
rotten human flesh.
Yeah,
right?
and it's something like smallpox mixed with Black Death mixed with whatever else. Plague.
Yeah, slaps it in the wound. I can't quite remember. Somehow gets poisoned herself. I can't quite remember.
Also,
how that happened.
because she has been scratched during it's been an intense fuck, so he notices. Oh, you're also bleeding there.
Oh, that's right.
The medicine you just took out, and you should have some too. And she's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And it apparently caused you to itch yourself to death.
Yeah.
Right? Your internal organs begin to itch.
Yeah. And that's kind of the end of the fourth film, then, really, isn't it?
He becomes an opium addict because, as Clive and I know from reading Confessions of an Opium Addict, that's a really good way to deal with like the pain of digestion, apparently, and anything else that's in any way discomforting. So, yeah,
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's this whole, like we said, that what I liked as well is the toxic legacy thing where they still can't escape him even after his cock's exploded, right? There's a whole bunch of other kind of machinations going on and double crosses until the inevitable tragic ending where Wu Song arrives just that little bit too late, right?
He's fucking stupid. She has clearly signposted in like 20-foot high neon letters what she's going to do, and he's like, "I'm just going to nip to town and get us a couple of buns." And,
but you know what?
Not seller again, cleaning up.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? She didn't plan it that fucking well because all she had was a seashell.
A seashell, yes, this is true.
She sells seashells on the seashore, I believe.
That's easy for you to say.
Herself on the seashore. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I wondered about there's a part that I was like, is it missing from the film or am I stupid? But basically, so we talked a little bit.
Both can be true. They don't have to be mutually exclusive.
There's a scene. You already mentioned it. There's a scene where he's at the club with his cronies, and he goes to the urinals, and he has the whole bit where he mocks this guy next to him as having a tiny dick, pisses all over him, tells him he should drink piss, and then fucks off and finds out that this guy is apparently a much more powerful figure than he is. This guy shows up again, and then we have this scene where there's this quite shocking like piss bukake that comes out of nowhere, right?
Well, when I was confused about was why is he pissing through his shoe? Because he lifts his foot, doesn't he? He like kiss my feet or something, and he ends up the piss comes out the bottom of his shoe, and there is a subtitle as well that backs it up, saying something like "ha ha ha, my piss goes down my leg and out of my shoe" or something. But I couldn't figure out.
But then everyone else whips it out too, because it does become a whole all of them kind of he gets multiple.
Like I said, missed opportunity. Golden Lotus and Plum Blossom should have been in that scene, but
yes,
But then again, I'm being heteronormative. If maybe some guys got off on that, good on you. Well done.
But then later in the film, there's a couple of references made to like that he'd had to eat shit too. Like the doctor says it at one point, and then someone else said, and then it makes sense because he suddenly develops these kidney problems and stuff, and it's kind of like, oh, it's something that he ate, and it all seemed to dovetail into this thing that maybe he'd also been forced to eat shit, but we never. I'm not wrong in thinking we never see that, but it is said by 2 or 3 other characters after that scene.
Oh, okay,
that's a good point. Yeah,
maybe a director's cut. Maybe we should be on the lookout.
So yeah, that was anyway. I wondered about that.
It's only another 7.5 hours of our lives. It's fine.
It's one entire hour-and-a-half episode of Tan-Lap Man gorging on birds.
Jesus.
All different shades of brown,
geez.
constituency and aroma put it out, I think.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. Anyway. So, this is why he's sick. This is why what's-her-face can come, the doctor's sister, and can do her whole thing. So
let's not belabor the point here now.
Yeah.
That's right. Let's get to. So I would say, from my point of view, the both good and bad is, I would say, even though it's not overall the best film or the best production or anything like that, this is solid, relatively good in terms of production values for something that is obviously low budget, and has so much of, and again, certain assumptions, but it seems to be enough of the Golden Lotus to be considered close to definitive, I would say, right? So it definitely earns its place in the canon. If I were to say the only thing that maybe detracts from it in being like the definitive version, and I can see there still being room for another more definitive, because I know there's TV versions, but I'm guessing the TV versions probably have to tone it down, right?
Yeah.
So they're not going to be as full-blooded. So you might get all the drama and stuff, but you're not going to get. The only thing that stops, let's put it another way, the only thing that makes room, as far as I know, it may exist, but there's still room in this world for the definitive Golden Lotus, is it has all this, it has all the filth, it has the scope, but it's like really big budget, opulent, more, because this doesn't have enough characters sometimes. It's a little sparse, isn't it? You need a few more characters, you need more extras, you need more. So this isn't quite the Golden Lotus for all times, but thinking about it, if you wanted to do a Golden Lotus for all time, plus you delivered it on screen with all the production values, you're talking making something along the lines of Tinto Brass's Caligula, right? The kind of film that comes along every
except it would still have to be 7.5 hours long.
So, but what I mean is, if someone could tackle that in like a trilogy or something.
The big budget filth.
Basically a Caligula version. So
there's
still room. So anyone out there, who's, we can handle more Golden Lotus. Give it to us. We still need the absolute definitive fucking whoever the Chinese version of Malcolm McDowell as, because I think Tan-Lap Man might be a bit too old now.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he can have a supporting role.
Well, he can do the choice. He can be the cock fu shivu, can he?
Yes.
And he can be a consultant, like no, that's not how you suck then.
You do your lipstick like this.
Yes. Listen to this. Listen to the Damned, and watch their music videos, and So that's my take anyway. Is this one is solid? It's good, but one day maybe we're gonna see. I don't know where it's gonna come from. End of the current, it's not coming out of mainland China. Hong Kong doesn't have the budget for it. I don't know. I don't know. Japan maybe, or somewhere's got to do like. I think big budget.
I mean, I'm with you. I mean, a personal impression. My personal impression would be, this is the film, and it's probably a cumulative thing, right? Having watched however many Golden Lotus flavored films we've watched, but this is the series of films that got everything straight in my mind.
Yes. Yes.
So previously,
And in my pants.
yes. Well, Sex and Chopsticks was a little bit better for that.
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
fair,
we've
I
got
think.
Selina Hayakawa,
Yeah. But no, for me, there's all whenever I would watch this, especially the Lee Han-xiang and some of the more sort of convoluted ones, or the longer ones, or the bits of the middle of the story they decided to make it into a film. There would always be one character who I didn't quite understand who they were in their relationship to everyone else. And this is the one where I got it. This is the series of films where actually I felt, yeah, I actually get every character. I know exactly who everyone is. I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Whereas previously, and particularly Lee Han-xiang's not good at this for a Western audience anyway. If you're already dyed in the wool and, you know, presumably immersed in that story, you know, from an early age, then it's probably different.
Yeah, I assume they do it in elementary school, I would imagine.
Oh yeah. Especially the plum in the vagina stuff. Definitely.
Yeah, I can only.
Yeah. But no,
Lady Bird Reader's version of
that's it.
Golden Lotus. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. Shibari for beginners. Yeah. But I think if this is as close as we've come to Golden Lotus for all time.
I agree. And I would say I almost, if I had any regret in a way, it was that we watched this one last rather than first, because it would have been a lot easier to parse and understand what the other films were doing and how they were deciding to focus on
Nick,
if we
don't have regrets, man.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's all good.
A life with no regrets. That's what Zeman Ching would want me to have. But yeah, that I 100% endorse this. I would say if I was going to tell anyone, if you want to see and get some sort of a handle on how this thing fits together, what the big picture is, this is actually the one to start with.
Yeah. And if anyone does have access to the missing shit eating,
yeah, the coprophagus
episode,
scenes, yep.
Thank you, that's the word I was looking for.
Yep.
Yes, Corpophagus the beast.
at gmail.com.
Yes.
That's
the address to send your information to.
That's
please.
Yeah.
And also fuck your Han Solos and Clone Wars. We want spin-offs. I want to hear the pork bun seller's story, his perspective.
Yeah,
yes,
I mean,
yes.
and let's, you know, I mean, the title, right, sells itself, right? Pork, pork,
right?
Buns.
Oh, yeah,
right? Pork buns. Yeah,
easy, simple.
The Porkadorian.
That's yeah.
So, yeah. So there we go. Yeah. So maybe not. You know, I still probably think something like the 73 Golden Lotus is probably closer to being like a again, that wasn't a classic, but plus it's only an hour and a half you're asking of people or whatever. So I would slightly disagree with you there, Nick. I would say maybe that would be a better entry point. But if after that you're interested, then
right.
yeah, this one would be the one you get more or less the whole
right
thing, right.
And so go to your the feature film first, and then seek out the 4-part miniseries.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Darren's looking confused because, like most.
No, I get it. No.
Right.
I've got the
Okay. Because you have to watch every
that.
Single thing that we put up on YouTube to get our jokes, right?
Yeah. That's all right. That's okay. Yeah. Because you know, our hundreds of thousands of viewers are just waiting for new content. And
well, I've noticed we're so popular that we've actually broken the counter on YouTube because
it's gone all the way around.
Yeah, so it's just it says just 5 or 10, but it's they've run out of digits.
Yeah. So it's basically infinity times 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Or plus 5, I should say. Yeah, lovely.
I'm glad we're not wasting our time.
Yeah.
Right.
I've got to say, Nick. I'm not keen on your bedspread.
You don't like this?
No.
All right.
Oh, is
yeah.
that actually a blanket? I thought
This
you
is just
just
a
did
blanket
makeup
that's on the end of the bed. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. That changes it actually, because I think
Okay.
that that looked like a duvet cover from when I
No,
was.
no, it's a couple of Mexican blankets thrown on the
Oh
end.
no, that's
on the
okay.
end of the bed.
No, that's okay.
I'm assuming you
No,
weren't
no.
being just racist.
Well, no.
Okay.
But no,
I
no,
am.
no, no.
I hate them
I thought-
beaner sheets you got.
Yeah. But you have to admit that that's a bit of a shit color scheme for a bedspread.
Yeah,
I will agree.
I'm with
Yes.
you.
But as a blanket, it's lovely.
Okay.
Well, I think you called it right the first time.
Clive can't deal with the turquoise.
Let's just write "can do better" on his homework. And
Okay.
yes.
I'll give him 8 out of 10.
Do you still do that, Nick? You're a teacher. Do you still write "can do better" on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Well-
Inconsistent effort. You know, there's various ways you can say lazy as fuck without saying lazy as fuck.
Yeah, just LAF, but that's
LAF,
another show
yeah.
that we do. Yeah. Okay.
Mm,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Let's go.
Yes.
Bye.
Yeah, we should head out of here. Yeah.
Yeah. Bye-bye.